People who start work at sunrise just love this time of day. Kay Onler is one of those people, and she makes the most of it when feeding the family herd. Along with her in the cab is her 2-year-old daughter, Reagan.
We count, so we do our ABCs. We try and make it educational if we can. The way that I grew up is important to me to raise my kids that same way, instill that same work ethic in them and responsibility from an early age.
From the field back to the barn, the whole process takes less than an hour. And then, well, the fun is over and it's time to go to work. Kay is an ag officer at a community bank here in Northeast Kansas, and hers is just one of many unique stories working in this very unique bank full of stories. This is Denison State Bank in Holton, Kansas. How do you get so many people moving in the same direction? Marching bands, athletes, even a kitchen staff, any group that wants success must all be on the same page, and that never happens without leadership.
Leadership here is just incredibly stable.
Here at Denison, that stability is anchored by the owner, Jim Birkbeck.
Jim's a prince.
He doesn't care if you have $2 to your name or $2 million to your name. He treats you the same.
We can do that.
Jim treats every customer that walks through the front door the same and with respect, and that's what I really admire about Jim.
So following Jim's lead means leading the town of Holton, and if you're going to lead a town, you better have a good school and strong businesses. Brett Fletcher's propane business couldn't be stronger right now. They just completed construction of a brand new shop expanding what his grandfather started years ago.
Jet's Pizza, this is Jorah. How can I help you?
This is the lunch rush at Jet's Pizza in downtown Holton. Luke Dieter moved up here from Topeka, dreaming of owning a restaurant, but he never really thought a local bank would back him.
Came in and they opened up, hey, well, let's see what we can do. And they believed that I could do something. And they started me out small and then let me grow. And as I grew, they just kept on helping me grow.
Luke and Brett are just two examples of Denison State turning dreams into reality.
That's what I say all the time, living the dream, making pizza.
Mary and Mark Filer run a quilting shop in Holton, and it's a massive, thriving retail operation where people come to learn, to share, and create. They've expanded several times and used Denison for just about everything. Just across the square, Erin Lassie's dream of running a coffee shop is now part of her daily routine. She used a loan from Denison State to open the shop and grants through FHLBank Topeka to renovate the entire building.
We really enjoy having to work with them, even though it's about money.
I mean, we can go over and tell them if we're having cash flow problems, we can work through it. They help us out.
All right, I'll have you tip your chin up for me if you would.
Dr. Alec Gilliland runs a dental practice. Next door, his brother Joe owns and runs a pharmacy. They grew up here in Holton, where their dad started a local pharmacy. Frank Gilliland arrived in Holton in the mid-1970s with no money of his own to start a business, and he was having trouble securing a loan until he went to Denison.
But Denison State Bank was the first bank that took a chance on him. They said, yeah, you bet.
Joe's brother Alec was wrapping up his final year of dental school and was trying to get his practice going in another city. But just like his dad before him, he could not secure financing. After all, he had college loans hanging over his head. So he came home to Holton, and just like his dad, he went to Denison.
Dental space is very expensive to start, and so it's an expensive build out. And, they stepped up to the plate and helped us out when others wouldn't.
Veterinarian Dr. Amy Sunday has a very similar story. She too is from Northeast Kansas, and she came out of vet school thinking no bank would take a chance on her. After all, she was deep in debt with her college loans. But then Mike Day, the president of Denison State, got word that a local professional wanted to open a business in Holton.
So, having somebody approach us like that and say that they were willing to help us and I guess take a risk on us, take a chance, we really appreciated that they had that much confidence in us. So.
Denison State Bank used fixed-rate funding from FHLBank Topeka to fund the clinic. And remember Brett Fletcher's propane business we told you about? Well, here's what we didn't tell you. Inside this brand new facility, his wife Carly is opening her new hair salon, complete with manicures and pedicure stations. Before now, she's always leased space. This is the first time the couple will work at the same location. They are a living, breathing example of what a community bank is all about.
Not only do they lend the money, but they lend advice and they give you confidence.
And if you believe in that person and they're made of the right character and you believe in your community, a really good community bank's going to stretch some, take on a little more risk.
Right around noon each day, the lobby at Denison starts to smell like a movie theater. This is when President Mike Day loads up and hits the sidewalks, passing out popcorn to business owners, customers, or just someone passing by. But this time of year, he can't stay out here for long because it's springtime and his heifers are calving.
Probably most bank presidents don't do that, I would guess.
A lot of times the mamas, whenever they first calve, are pretty protective, so.
This is not a hobby farm for Mike. He's a trained cattleman, which was his original career back in Oklahoma until he was recruited by Denison owner Jim Birkbeck to come and lead this community through Denison State Bank.
Because they felt like it'd be easier to teach a cattleman how to bank than a banker how to raise cattle. So
it makes a big difference because we do understand what they're going through, the challenges they have. And so I think that makes us more caring, understanding, and I think that our customers appreciate that.
Mike does not regret becoming a banker. On his first day, an experienced loan officer told him he would see a lot of strong loan applications come through where he can say yes.
But he also said there's times you're going to have to say, I just can't help you. It's not the right time, it's not the right opportunity. And he said, you know, you're going to realize in a small town, you sit in a church pew with those people, you sit beside them at a ball game, your kids are in the same organizations. But he said you do it with respect, you do it with compassion. But he said if saying no doesn't tug at your heart a little bit, turn in your resignation.
That compassion and caring shows up all over Holton and Jackson County.
We just built brand new fairgrounds.
Denison State Bank met matching donations totaling $100,000, and now the entire county has a brand new fairground complete with rodeo arena and indoor facilities for livestock exhibitions. It's these types of initiatives that give Denison its reputation for leadership. A few years ago, the city park needed upgrades. Denison State Bank stepped in and matched every community donation dollar for dollar to make the improvements.
Communities we live in, it's communities we work in, raise our kids in, raise our families in, so it's an opportunity for us to give back to the community and support it.
Whether it's the schools, 4-H groups, Rotary Club, Board of Education, we have people that are on various committees, just keeping kind of the pulse of the community. We know what's going on and maybe we can help.
We want the community to grow, we want the community to do better. If the community grows, the bank grows. But if the community grows, our life is better.
On the outskirts of town is the Banner Creek Observatory. This is where young astronomers come, and hopefully where an interest in science is nurtured. Denison State Bank is one of many Holton institutions supporting the observatory, but not just with cash donations. Mike McManigal is Senior IT Officer, and he serves on the board and helps guide the day-to-day operations. Last year, over 2,000 kids experienced the wonder of the universe right here.
It takes some significant dollars to keep the doors open here, and the bank has played a major role in helping us to do that.
Serving our kids is something we can all get behind, but we should never forget about those who served before us, our parents and grandparents. This is the Pines, an assisted living facility for seniors. Operating an around-the-clock facility has always been the goal for Nikki Rinks and Mandy Bontrager. Denison State Bank helped them finance the entire operation.
They're here for the community as well, the betterment of the community. It's not just a job to them. They very much care about us and what we're doing in the community to help out others.
Denison State Bank used fixed-rate funding from Federal Home Loan Bank Topeka to lend to the new buyers for the facility purchase and use FHLBank's line of credit to provide for operating expenses. These stories we've shared with you highlight the core values of Denison State Bank, values that touch on the most important elements in our daily lives. In several cases, these projects were made possible by Denison's partnership with the Federal Home Loan Bank Topeka. Long-term fixed-rate advances enable Denison State Bank to be competitive for land and machinery purchases, while the line of credit gives flexibility for the bank to be fully invested but have liquidity for daily operational needs.
Interest rates have been historically low for a number of years, and some banks like to keep Fed funds for liquidity, which was earning you practically nothing. We essentially use the Home Loan Bank line of credit to fund any short-term needs that we would need. Instead of holding back funds at a very low rate, we utilized our line of credit whenever we needed liquidity, and it's worked very well for the past 5 years.
Through Federal Home Loan Bank, we've had the opportunity to offer some products that helped eliminate some of the risk for the bank and also the customer. And so those core values of faith, family, friends tie right into employees caring.
It would also be much harder for homeowners to buy that first or next home if Denison lenders didn't work so hard to help young families. Danielle and Matthew Failer are expecting and just bought their first home, while Aaron and Jesse Dieters now have 4 kids and really needed a bigger house. Both mortgages were through Denison. Denison then turned around and sold those to FHLBank Topeka through the Mortgage Partnership Finance Program. The MPF program allows Denison State to support its community's housing needs while being compensated for sharing the risk of long-term fixed-rate loans. We can't possibly list all the projects and people touched through Denison. For one, there are simply too many, and they are spread out through all of Northeast Kansas. Whether it's a meat processing plant here in Meriden, or financing the renovation of a large office building in downtown Topeka. The other reason we can't mention more about Denison State Bank is owner Jim Birkbeck keeps a lot of their philanthropy projects a secret.
Jim touches a lot of people. He does a lot of things that nobody knows.
The next time someone tells you small town America is withering away, tell them about Holton, Kansas, and all the other towns where there is a strong community bank like Denison. You could say Denison State Bank is an enabler. It enables businesses to expand and grow, enables young people to come back home and start their careers. It enables families to prosper. It enables sons and daughters to follow in their parents' footsteps. It enables a community to reach its full potential and enables the heart and soul of this country to be what it is meant to be. A place where hard work is respected and rewarded. Remember Tim Parks? He started his first business here 20 years ago with a loan from Denison.
They let us live the American dream, so it was because of them that we were able to do it.
We wouldn't have been able to do this without them.
Congratulations to Denison State Bank for winning the 2017 FHLBank Topeka Community Leader Award.